Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier. The DRF.com Formulator Race of the Day for Wednesday, November the 15th is race number 6 at Woodbine. Let's take a look at this field of 2-year-olds in the $125,000 South Ocean Stakes. We've got 9 fillies in here, and the number 2, Clickety Clack, is the 2-to-1 morning line favorite. Remember to head on over to the Race of the Day event page on DRF.com, download your free Formulator past performances, and handicap along with us as we take this field in post position order. 20-to-1 on the number 1, Show Me the Prize, and understandably so. She has yet to hit the board from 3 starts.
And most recently went off at 59-to-1, 2 starts back, 115-to-1, and she debuted at 19-to-1. To me, it seems very unlikely that she breaks her maiden here.
She's going to have to improve. But now we'll talk about the favorite, the number 2, Clickety Clack. 2-to-1. Rafael Hernandez has them out, and this one is a deserving favorite. A perfect 2-for-2 with Lasix, and she has already won at this South Ocean distance.
Yeah, I thought that most recent run on the Princess Elizabeth was really strong. She was game. I know she had a beautiful trip. She shot up the wood, really no feather or straw in her path, I should say. She dug in gamely, though, to win that thing. And then, you know, it's also worth noting the 6th place finisher that day has already come back to run well and earn a 56 buyer. If you look at the rest of this field, 56 is better than what most of these girls are capable of.
This is a very underrated barn. This trainer, I think, did some excellent work with Ellen Vannon as a 2-year-old. And one of Clickety Clack's greatest assets is her tactical speed, as we see from the Timeform US pace projector. This horse has proven that she can win in pressing mode, can win from off of the pace, and we have her the number 2 just off the lead of the number 3 Close Image. And if you don't believe the 3 Close Image will stay, heck, she's stretching out 3 whole furlongs off a maiden claiming win, then Clickety Clack might be in the garden spot.
Yeah, she's the horse to beat in here. It's going to be ultimately a matter of at what price are you willing to take on her, because I don't know. I think she may come down even from that 2-to-1 morning line.
Let's talk about Close Image. Rare that we see the best last buyer earner as a 20-to-1 morning line chance, but when you look at her form lines, she needed that drop to 25,000 maiden claimers to win last time out. The race was only at 5.5 furlongs. I thought visually it was pretty impressive. She came with a 3-4 wide sweeping bid on the turn. She kept to her task to win by almost 9 lengths. But it's a giant hike in class.
Yeah, I mean, she won by the length of the stretch. She was supposed to. That field has come back really, really poor at this point. But I also think, you know, don't overlook the fact that you go 2 and 3 starts back. She ran against many of these girls, and she was 6-to-1. She was 5-to-1. It's not like she was some hopeless long shot in those races. The question becomes, if you like her, can she get out to the distance?
And if you really want to try to make excuses, her first 2 races she showed speed, but she was racing without Lasix. Maybe she needed it. And her first race with Lasix, she had blinkers, and maybe she didn't like that. So it's a lot of maybes, but she is 20-to-1 on the morning line. The 4 is Gizmo's Destiny, who won her first 2-turn test 2 starts back. Then no match for Clickety Clack most recently in the Princess Elizabeth Stakes, another one with good tactical speed.
Good tactical speed, needs a step up. I haven't been impressed by this horse whatsoever. That run 2 back where she broke her maiden against Swagitude, that race has come back just awful. She came back in that Princess Elizabeth. She was forwardly placed. There was no pace signed on, and she just packed it in terribly when the real running began. I can't make a positive real case for her other than the connections are high profile, and we know that they're capable of winning a race of this magnitude.
The number 5 is Ghosted Arena. Emma Jane Wilson has the call, 12-to-1 on the morning line. This one returned to a synthetic surface most recently and came with a big, strong rally at a big price, 25-to-1. Now, she needs a bit of a buyer boost as she steps up out of the maiden ranks, but I really respect her trainer, Robert Tiller, and she just needs some pace. I'm not sure she's going to get enough of it.
I was so close to picking her. I picked her second. I think she got a big, big chance in here. The question becomes, do you think 2 turns is going to be any sort of an issue? I personally don't. And also, it's worth noting, she's going to wheel back in 11 days. They supplemented her to this spot. For what it's worth, Tiller the past 2 years, 1 to 14-day layoff, sprint to route 3 for 9 with a 160 ROI. So it's not a positive number, but it's more a matter of those winners have been short prices. That's why you don't get the positive ROI. I think she got a big chance in here.
Line of Vision is the number 6. Luis Contreras aboard at 5-to-2. This one has won 2 of 3 lifetime starts, paired up by her tops in her most recent 2 efforts, but now has to stretch out from 6 to a mile and a 16th. She's by Breeders' Cup Mile winner Court Vision.
Yeah, I have to be honest. Her and She's the Berries, they're both coming out of that common race, and you could separate the top 4 by about length and a half, 2 lengths. I just didn't think there was anything spectacular about that. The pace setter that they tired, I think that was a bit of an optical illusion, not so much that they were making up a lot of ground. more so that the pace setter was coming back to them.
Yes, and She's the Berries is also going to have to stretch all the way out like line of vision, 2.5 furlongs, even performance in the Victorian Queen, although I think it was a learning effort. There was a brief moment where she was in and among horses. I think she has a little bit of ability. I like the way she gutted it out 2 starts back as the favorite in a maiden special, but again, it's a tough spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to need to improve your game a little bit. The only thing is, at this point, she's consistent, and we know that Brian Lynch is capable of getting big things out of big horses. I think she's going to need to move forward, though.
I think this is a very interesting spot for the number 8, Bramble Queen. I like that Mike Deeney, after winning a maiden claimer with this horse on the turf at Delaware Park, immediately threw her into graded stakes action at Belmont against some very promising horses in significant form and best performance who came back to run so well in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies turf, and then they tried another stakes race in New York on the turf, the Chelsea Flower. If you believe the turf form successfully translates to synthetic, this Bramble Queen might be a playable price and a nice option.
Yeah, the question is, do you think that she can transfer over to the synth? Obviously, that's an unknown at this point, but you just look at the company that she kept. You brought up the Miss Griot, obviously, that goes without question. Go back and watch the tape of the Chelsea Flower. She had no chance. She was in amongst horses, never really got the opportunity to punch any sort of real kick down the lane. I wonder if she was able to get some clear run. Maybe she doesn't win, but she at least gets closer. And if you look at her from a speed figure standpoint, she fits, and she's arguably one of the horses to beat.
Swagitude completes the field. The field is bookended by maidens. This one is 0 for 3, but this one has at least hit the board, finishing second in her most recent start behind Gizmo's Destiny. Another one, though, that has to improve and has been long odds in every race.
Yeah, I brought up that Gizmo's Destiny, that race that she broke her maiden 2 back, has come back awful. That was the race that Swagitude was in. I have a hard time seeing this horse take a big step forward.
Pick time for our Wednesday formulator race of the day. Matt's going to go with the 8, Bramble Queen, a horse that's run well in graded stakes races, is going to try a synthetic surface for the first time. She is 4-1 on the morning line, and I think that's a playable price. How would you bet this race?
Yeah, I was really torn between the 8 and the 5 in this spot. I think Gosuda Dura, or however you want to pronounce that, Gosuda Arena, may have a big chance in here. I made Bramble Queen 7-2 and the 5 horse 6-1. To me, this one might be one of those rare instances where I can play 2 horses to win, and you know what? At that point, I can still make a profit.
I'm making a stab with my top selection, the 3 Close Image. Yes, she's the best last buyer performer, but now she has to stretch all the way out. I'm hoping that Clickety Clack allows her the lead, figuring, well, she won't stay the distance and she's class compromised anyway. I'm not sure I'll get the 20-1 morning line because of that last 69 buyer speed figure, but I think she's worth a small win play at 8-1. I'm going to go 3-8. You're going to go 8, 5, 2, and 6 in the 125,000 South Ocean Stakes. If you're playing the Wednesday Woodbine card from home, please sign up to DRF Bets. It's a no-brainer. $300 sign-up bonus when you head on over to drf.com/fall and use the promo code FALL300. Approximate post time for the South Ocean Stakes, race number 6 at Woodbine on Wednesday, is 9:10 Eastern. Best of luck.